Thank you very much for taking your time to join this session to all the participants of the Line Developer Day. So in this session, I will talk about the how we created the practitioners community and what the impact is. And myself, Tanigawa, and Nakamura-san will talk about these topics in this session. And we are running the project management community and engineering management community. And community becomes the means to solve the corporate management issues that has been talked for a while. For example, in a typical hierarchical organization, the knowledge and know-how tend to scatter across the different parts of the organization. And in that situation, the community can integrate such scattered know-how and knowledge, and it provides some potential to create a business opportunity and solve issues. And the capable employees have their own community and network within their organization, aside from their organization that they belong to. So solving the management issue sounds very broad, and you may not feel that this is yours. But what we are going to talk about is the tips about the running the community that are helpful for your work in the field. So let me talk about our team mission. So this name may sound aloof, but it's called Effective Team and Delivery. We are using the project management and agile expertise to solve the issues in the product development of Line. And our organization have about 10 people. It's not that big. So with the less people to generate the more outcome, we need to have the project management and the agile knowledge and the skill across the organization. We are thinking about the three approaches. The horizontal axis shows the internal spread, and the vertical axis shows the maturity of knowledge and skill. First, by providing training and guidelines, we can improve the skill level of the broad range of people. And if there are specific consultations or important issues, then we actually work with them hand in hand to support solving those issues. With that support, the people acquire the knowledge and the skill, and they create a community to horizontally spread their knowledge. Why do we need the management community internally? Most people try to think about the management once they assume the role of the engineering manager and the project manager in many cases. Furthermore, the team and the project management is seriously thought by at least only one person in the team. Engineering managers and the project managers tend to be busy and loner. And furthermore, the issues that managers have are related to the internal confidentialities and the interpersonal relationships. Therefore, it's difficult for them to easily talk to the external people. And management is not just about the quality or sense. You need to acquire the management skills based on such assumptions. While increasing the skills, you need to have the community in the company where you can talk about some delicate issues in details. The concept of the practitioner community is to gather the people who actually practice what they learned in the community in the field. Practitioners share their experience, and based on the shared knowledge, they try to address their own issues in the field. So it's not the people talking about the idealistic thoughts or just the studying. And we are the community managers, but we also need to participate in the community as a practitioner. Without further ado, so we, both of us, will talk about the following: the project manager and the engineering managers community creation. So we have that mission, and we would like to share the lessons learned from the community operation. We will share these as a know-how book for you, and you may not be able to spend so much resources on the community creation, but hopefully this will help you to start making small step from tomorrow. So this is the overview of the know-how we will share, how to start, and what kind of event, and what should we do. And lastly, some tips to continue the community. First, how can we start this? We actually started with the defining community vision. Community has many people with a different background and motivation, and those various members recognize each other's purpose and stance, and in order for them to voluntarily be active, it is important to set the expectation in the community. And the inception deck is the tool. So we use the elevator pitch to create a vision. In the project management community, sharing the knowledge or the issue is not just the end of it. So we just share the tips to solve the issues, and the communication should be in a way that we can both grow. That was the defined vision, and we recommend you notify this vision every event. And also look for the people who may have the same or similar role and challenges, such as the like-minded people or the comrades. And we started the community creation, and we had some worry about where should we announce to gather the people and what kind of people will come. So you try to remember the similar situation of the people, and we should talk to them one by one, and if you directly reach out to them, then many of them may respond back to you. Now we will talk about what kind of event we held and what happened. That will be presented by Nakamura-san. This is Nakamura. As a first event, we held the lunchtime casual event, so that's recommended. You can just gather the people to chat or share some knowledge. And the beauty of this lunch event is that managers who tend to have the meetings all day, but the lunchtime could be their available time, so they may participate in that. And also, according to the organizational transformation books, they recommend the lunch event to create the community members' relationship over a meal. And next is peer 2-on-1. So 1-on-1 is held among 3 people. It says 2-on-1, but you can do that among 4 people. In this event, it gives the psychological safety rather than big group. And also, we expect that this discussion to continue. We can talk about the same topic many times to deep dive on that. Specifically, what's the best way to do that, and the tips to do that are summarized in the publicized document. If you are interested, please read that. And next is the lean coffee. This is another way of having discussion. Each one of the participants present a topic, and everyone vote for the topics, and start talking about the topics with the more votes. Each topic has 7 minutes, so that we can cover as many topics as possible. And this is the online held event. Just like this, online whiteboard is used so that you can keep the memo and you can go back later. The benefit of this event is that the preparation doesn't cost so much for the secretariat and participation members, and you don't need to prepare the documentation, and also there aren't clear separation among the roles, presenters or the audience. Everyone can be active, and in terms of the operation side, the secretariat can know that the people are interested in particular areas or topics. Similar discussion is called open space technology. Left bottom picture. First, the participant present the topics they want to talk about in front of the group. And for each topic, table is assigned. And just like the right bottom picture, the participant can go to the topic that you want to participate in to discuss. Unlike the lean coffee, it's not 7 minutes interval. They can talk as much as they want. And also, if they are interested in something else, they can move the table.
This is when we had the discussion online. This online whiteboard visualizes who talked about which topic. Contents of the discussion is described on the post-it so that members in other tables can also peek into. The benefit of this way is low preparation costs like lean coffee, and all the members can participate actively. Difference from lean coffee is, as the slide shows, participants choose their topics for discussion, and usually they can choose the ones they want to discuss that can lead to the solution of their concerns in many areas. Those are the topics discussed in these events. In project management community, risk management, a core topic for project management, is covered, as well as Agile, which is referred in latest version of PMBOK. In engineering management community, some are typical topics for managers like one-on-one and OKR, and psychological safety to show team performance are covered. This is a community for practitioners. It is important to use what you learned in the community to get outcome. One manager said that the person acquired a new management style to facilitate decision-making by team members. New recruiting event was organized by the managers who got the idea in chatting in the community. Some got a new perspective for retrospective. Those events I talked about are good because preparation cost is low, but since they are exchanging knowledge basically among community members, learning from there can be degraded gradually. In such a case, it is important to gain new learnings, although it will incur cost. Book reading is a familiar style of study session. Let me introduce some of what we are doing for managers who are busy. One is reading in turns. In one session, one of the participants read one part of a book and explain the contents of this part to members, followed by a discussion. Session ends in 30 minutes, including discussion. This is a weekly session where speakers take turns. It is good for people who are too busy to finish reading one total book. Another is active book dialogue. This is similar because each of the participants read a different part of the book, but book reading starts when participants gather in the venue, so they don't have to read the book in advance. Then, which books should we choose? One recommendation is to start reading a book that is too difficult to finish reading by yourself. We also read difficult books like The Tyranny of Metrics and Essence in Failure. We had a session where attendees talk about their favorite books or books they read recently. It was interesting because you can see their personality. Sometimes you attend external study session or conference. Then what do you do after that? In our community, members attend the same event and share what we learned from this. Sharing what you learned, you can have deeper and wider understanding. Since this is an internal session for sharing, we can start talk about stories related to your job and make action plans. I have talked about events in community activities. Lastly, Tanigawa is going to talk about some ideas to keep such community activities. This is Tanigawa again. First, let me talk about some ideas in chat communication. We set up internal community, and it is also important to have an environment where you can talk and discuss anytime. In addition to communicating in events, we need a venue where members can connect to each other. So for this purpose, we made a Slack channel for community. In this channel, insight or management and articles are shared in addition to event notification. In open channel, it was difficult to have discussion and ask for help. One way to solve this is to make up a private channel. When a group is small, they feel less hesitant to talk and ask for help. A channel called Funho channel, which was a hot before, is also helpful for the relationship among community members. Funho is an open channel tweeting channel where they post what they are doing or suffering from. Personal tweeting often shows daily discovery and underlying opinions. Community managers can find clues for study session and discussion, relations, and so on. At the end of each event, it is very important for all to spare time on looking back what they learned and discovered in the session. This is a good opportunity for attendees to learn and discover things you didn't find, and it is important to understand others' interest. Community managers can get some ideas for new events and topics and can receive feedback about community management. In the project management community event, we received the following comments in retrospective. Talking with other people allowed the person to discover challenges that was difficult to find out by ourselves. Talking with people beyond my daily relationship gave me benefit. Those are the feedback. In addition to retrospective, it would be good to gain feedback and knowledge about their interests from the participants via questionnaires and hearing. As a community manager, we evaluated the level of satisfaction of the community and the effect of community activity. We use Net Promoter Score to check attendees' satisfaction. For the evaluation of effectiveness, we ask questionnaires like, does community activity trigger change of your awareness and behaviors? Do you feel your job and skills are improved? By doing such hearing and questionnaires, managers can understand who wants to do what activities and who is learning hints for job practices from what topics. When you do a follow-up for such people at an appropriate timing, some new practices emerge and community is activated further. For the community to be further recognized, it may be necessary to publicize some documents describing what happened in the event after the event is over. We'd like non-participants to the event and the community feel that they can be something when you attend the community, or maybe I want to join next. Summarize conversation in the event and learning and insight gained among participants and the result of retrospective are collected in internal wiki and shared in Slack. Event report describing what is going on in the event might be helpful to ask understanding by senior people in the company, although this is a secondary objective. This is our last point. Although such actions are simple, such sessions for gathering is especially required when many of us are working remotely. Before, we had opportunities to maintain relationships such as having chance meeting with your colleagues in the office or enjoy chattering after a meeting where you enjoy casual conversation. Such casual conversation and the relationship needs to be intentionally created in the era of working from home. In community communication, when you know their personality and who they are, that you never know in business talk, discussion there will be further energetic. That is all about the know-how we wanted to talk in community management. Our final comment again. When you need a breakthrough or some outcome against some issues in your daily job, you need some type of investment. As a way to invest, what about taking an action? Maybe a person near you might have a similar problem as yours. The first step you can take might be setting up a trigger to start talking with colleagues who may be in a similar position or situation. When you make a community to share opinions with colleagues with similar problems, and the action is helpful in your job and is expanded, then this might end up saving up our company, and the experienced community can be a big career advantage for you. So, final message to you. First, spend a small cost in small area. How about making a community in your office? This concludes our session. Thank you for your attention.